to the Oregon Files podcast. First, our disclaimer. We are amateur podcasters simply for entertainment. If we misquote or offend, it was not on purpose to do so. Also, we're recording from an attic, spare bedroom today, so you may hear kids, dogs, neighbors, what have you. Thank you and enjoy, and here is my co-host, Elliot Bowman.
That was a smooth transition. Thank you, Mark. Another fantastic opening for our podcast. I was thinking what great jobs you would have if you weren't at the bank or doing this. And I think you would be great at doing like intro for like late night talk shows, or like at a game show, you would tell like the contestants to come on down.
Come on down.
I don't know why I was thinking about that earlier, but when you were a kid, what kind of dream job did you have high hopes for?
Dream job I had. I think it was working, honestly, at a comic book store, a video game store, and I got to do both.
Okay. Yeah, you stole my thunder because I was going to say the same thing. No, I mean, really, mine was probably athletics, but I wasn't. But by age like 12, 13, I realized I had zero athletic ability, so I went into banking instead. But today we have a guest of honor, a special guest, the guy who keeps the podcast lights on around here. I wish we had like a round of applause. Kyle
Kipperman.
Kyle Kipperman from Video Games Plus and Level Up Frozen Yogurts. We are so excited to have here to chat with us about philosophies on life and video game and whatever comes across our minds here. So
we'll discuss how you discuss how you wound up in some guy's attic recording a podcast for two local yahoos. We do have to first do our ad, which is, we have to call that out. So if you don't mind, sir, I'm going to read.
These take so long.
I know, these are the worst.
I skip through it like on my phone.
Our first and only appetizer at the moment is the wonderful Video Games Plus and Level Up Frozen Yogurt. Open 7 days a week off Stevens in Roseburg, Oregon. Level Up Frozen Yogurt has new flavors every month. Some are dairy-free and over 50 toppings, including fresh fruit. And El, what do you think about the video game side?
What do I think about the video game? I think I spend more time there to do in my own home. I have so much love and fulfillment and joy every single time I walk into those doors. I'm not just saying that because Kyle's sitting right here. I have been going to Video Games Plus. I'm probably for like 15 years. I mean, you'll have to tell me how long you guys have been open, but I think I've
16. It's awkward.
16.
22.
Oh, wow. 22 years. Yeah. Wow. I've been going there a long time. I even remember like when the registers were like kind of closer to the door and like everything was all flipped around. But
yeah, you get old school status for remembering.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're going to pick Kyle's brain today. We got a list of questions he's going to go over. I think he's got some fun trivia facts for us as well.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, fun, air quotes.
Yeah.
We'll see. I just pulled up a bunch of funny like stats from the database I think they're funny stats. Some of them.
Well, first question off the bat.
I would like to know, when you were growing up or in high school, what was kind of like your, how did you go from, what was your kind of like dream job, or what did you want to do when you were younger?
Well, when I was young, my parents owned Video World in town.
Okay.
And one of the things we did every year was at Horizon, the dealership. My grandma worked there, and every year they'd gather up half a dozen kids and we'd go to their mailing. We'd basically just peel off addresses, put them on the envelope. For 8 hours. We got a, donut break in the middle of it. But, I started doing that when I was like 10.
Child labor, okay.
And and I was like, this is what adults do. Like for 8 hours a day, like every day. Like I could barely take one day. So I was like, I don't know if I want a normal job. But like, as long as you get to like break up your day with different stuff.
Yeah.
I think a job like that would be fine, whatever it is. I could do 4 hours of the label thing and then 4 hours of something else. My dream was to just not work my ass off, basically.
Oh, man.
Or end up at, 50 years old working at a Starbucks or something.
Right.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I could do like 20 hours a week at a Starbucks, but not 40.
All right.
It's weird. When you try to go to work in like 0 hours a week, you just get sad and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try to do too much, it's like a slog. There's some like, I think 20 hours is like sweet spot you can just do forever.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell my boss, like, look, I need to get to 20 for my mental.
Well, they talked about like going to 4-day work week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would love a 4-day work week.
So how'd you go from that to getting into owning Video Games Plus? And
yeah, the video game store came from, when I was in high school, I started a mail order disc repair business. Did you know that, Mark?
No.
So Yeah, I'd get people to set from video stores to send me, scratched up DVDs and stuff. I'd fix them on my machine.
Oh yeah,
which was my dad's like old CD resurfacer from the video store. And then, we do like $3 a disc or something, send them back. We were like cold calling video stores and stuff and trying to get them to send us stuff. And it kind of wasn't really popping off. I didn't realize it, but my dad did. And he said, hey, I know of this store, Video Games Plus in Eugene, that's closing. I think it was the Thurston location. This is in 2000. So we ended up, obviously borrowed the money to do it from parents. And we ended up buying that store, the sign, everything, and then acquiring some more inventory and just starting the store in Roseburg.
Oh, man, that's cool.
So that's how it started. Yeah.
So is the one in Thurston still open?
No, they had 3 locations at the time. I think Thurston, Coburg, and like one other one. Man, so long ago, it's hard to even remember.
Right.
And then I think that changed hands a couple of times, and they're not really around anymore.
But you own video game headquarters in Springfield, right?
Yeah, later I ended up kind of going back to that area. Yeah, the funny thing is about starting that second store is we basically just made a mistake in like buying too much inventory. You know what I mean?
Worst kind of mistake, yeah.
Like you just kind of don't notice all of a sudden you get twice as much inventory as you need. So we were like, we should just start another store. And we found my guy Abe to go run it, and that's been running since 2006.
Yeah, Abe Kabuch, great guy.
It's a good name. So do you remember like what the popular video games were when you first opened up?
Yeah, we opened in 2000, Video Games Plus. Boy, there were still we still had new 64 games. Like I was buying just new copies of like Ocarina of Time just to have on the shelf, even though we'd our margin was like nothing. My dad was like, why are you buying that? You make $2 if you even sell it. I should have just held on to them forever because now it's worth like $2,000.
Yeah, sealed N64 product is nuts because that's the big system or the retro system right now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Tony Hawk 1 and 2, we were playing those a lot. What else? I think Gran Turismo 2 was about that time.
Right.
And let's see, around we started in April, around like October, I think that's when the PlayStation 2 came out. So that was a kind of a big event.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
What was kind of like your consoles growing up?
Oh, I started with NES.
NES?
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it blew my mind. Went over to
a
friend's house and they just had one like life-changing moment. I know it sounds weird, but it definitely was.
I have sentiment towards that too. I definitely remember playing the NES.
A month or two later, I got woken up in the middle of the night and I went to the another room. My parents were in there playing an NES they just bought. It's like 2 a.m. They're playing.
I love it.
What were they playing?
They were just playing Mario.
Oh yeah.
They were on that level with like the kind of the air level with the little trees that kind of go up and down and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And mom was taking the controller and like heaving it to one side. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. So they must have loved the Wii when that came out.
They didn't really play a lot of games. So I get dad to play like racing games with us. Like Super Off-Road or like Hydro Thunder or RC Pro-Am, stuff like that. But
almost reaching on this topic, but do you recall any other like rare items that have, come across the store, over the years that even somebody bringing in that maybe didn't realize the value they had in it? They were like, I just want to trade this in.
Yeah, there's definitely some of those. There's some between like being rare and sought after. Like we've seen, a dozen copies of Earthbound or something, and then one in the box like last summer. It's kind of a beat up box, but that sold for like $1,500.
Because Earthbound was end of Super NES, right? And that's what made it so rare.
But it came with a big box and a strategy guide.
Oh, wow.
And a scratch and sniff thing in there.
Really? I've never. Earthbound, huh?
Yeah, it's an RPG. Yeah, it was a good one too.
But I think the rarest one I found was Captain Novolin. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
It's a game where you play as your hero is a guy with type 1 diabetes.
What?
And it's made to teach kids about how to, not eat junk food and, manage their diabetes properly. Yeah, it was on Super Nintendo.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Was it like a scroll game?
Yeah, it's a side scroller.
Side scroll?
I think you have to not eat the sugary snacks.
Oh my gosh!
I never played it. We've had it in the store.
Really?
I never heard of it.
That couldn't have been that many copies of that. I can't imagine.
I think it was a kind of a limited run. And it was I think it was made by like a biochemical company.
I was going to say it's like a doctor
or something.
made it. Yeah.
Right.
Because I think Novolin is like a brand of insulin.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the insulin brand, I love it.
It's like saying Captain Kleenex or something.
Yeah. Right.
Do you have a favorite video game of all time that you've played?
Yeah, the XCOM series.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys ever play that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a small squad, like tactical game, almost like chess, but with soldiers against aliens. Land your Sky Ranger, drop off your troops, go kill the aliens, take their technology, research it, and use it back against them. It's awesome.
Which system was on that?
It was on PC first,
And
then they made a few iterations of it, and then it came out in 2012 again, like a reboot kind of thing on like 360 and PS3 called Enemy Unknown. They made like 3 or 4 others after that, and I played them all. I played them on the mode where it's called Iron Man mode. It's where you get one save game, and every choice you make in the game, every shot, every like roll of the dice, it overwrites your save game, so you can't go back and make a different decision.
Whoa.
So you can get, if you put on the hardest mode and Iron Man, you can get 10 hours into the game, make one mistake, squad gets wiped, your game's done, you got to restart.
it's like the roguelike games they have today.
Yeah.
I play a game like that called The Returnal.
I got to play that. That looked cool.
Awfully tough.
Yeah.
It is I get so mad at that game. And there's people that, and you read like the speedrunners, they beat it like in 4 minutes. I'm like, how in the how do they beat? I don't understand how people beat games that fast.
What's your favorite video game of all time?
Oh man, of all time, it's a toss up between Red Dead Redemption 2. I know it's a newer one, newish one, and God of War. Or the God of War series, I think, just collectively, I think all those are probably my favorite of all time. And then of course, nostalgia for me, Paperboy was always my favorite ones growing up. Yep. I was a big Mega Man fan, Castlevania, the Mario series.
Mario, yeah.
Gran Turismo, playing the 7 Gran Turismo, even before I came over here, I was playing it. Mark him and I are such a diverse, like nerddom, I guess. He's got his Dungeons and Dragons, his magic, and we share kind of the same love for movies, but like, for me it's video games. Video games is such a early childhood memory for me. The Atari was probably the first video game I ever played, and then Nintendo and the 64 and the Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, it's like it's funny. I'll be 39 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 41. So you started playing Atari, like before NES probably.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember I went over a friend's house. She had it like in her basement. I'm like, what is this? It was like, like the light coming through the sky. I'm like, just shining down like on the screen. I'm like, this is amazing. Even though like in real time it was like, bing, 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 like the pong, on the side wasn't anything amazing, but still.
Yeah. I found that kids like today, they have trouble appreciating Atari at all.
Right.
But they can go back and play like Super Nintendo for sure, and then sometimes NES. But getting them back to like Asteroids or something.
Right.
They're like, I can play that on my washing machine.
Frogger.
Yeah.
So you had Video Games Plus, and then what kind of led up to wanting to do like the frozen yogurt?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone loves the frozen yogurt.
That was another mistake. All my businesses are from like other mistakes, like failed CD repair business led into Video Games Plus, bad inventory control led to Video Game Headquarters.
Hilarious.
And then we expanded Video Games Plus from 2,000 square feet to 4,500 square feet in 2010.
You took over what used to be a paint store.
Yeah,
that's right. It was a paint store.
Paint in place.
Yeah.
Chuck over there.
Which I have a funny story when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah, you keep going. Yeah.
But yeah, we took it over and then added some new products and stuff to kind of try to like, we wanted to eventually become like a hot topic also, kind of what Game Crazy started to do like 5 years later and start selling other inventory. But it was still too much space. We had like 1,500 square foot of space, which wasn't being utilized very well. And then there was this chicken wing place that moved out of town. Rocket Wings.
Oh my gosh, I missed that place. That place was so good.
So good.
I was so dejected when I went over there and they were like gone. They went to Portland.
Yes.
I was like,
I don't think they're open
make my
anymore.
own chicken wing store. And then I didn't even like think that Little Caesars was next to us and they sold chicken wings.
All right.
So I spent like a week designing like chicken wings.
Oh, really?
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you have a name for it?
No.
Oh, dang.
And then I was shopping around the idea with all the guys and stuff to, gauge the response. And like half of them were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
And then we got on to, I think it was from Chris Robinson, but I like to claim credit for the frozen yogurt idea. But Chris Robinson is my old manager.
Right.
He passed away.
Right.
Yeah, rest
a couple of months ago.
Crazy.
We'll let Chris say it was his idea.
Sure.
Everybody liked the frozen yogurt idea, so we just started going with that. And we had to try to like get it out in a few months to make summer because that's when you make all your money. So it was like a kind of a mad dash to get it built in time.
But it's a hit. That place took off. Like that place is a destination this time.
Yeah. Was it pretty busy when it opened? Like,
Yeah, so I don't like to do grand openings because like nobody knows what they're doing at a business when you first start. So I prefer to do a soft open, which is you just unlock the door at some point in the middle of the day. You know what I mean? So we did that at Level Up at like 3 p.m. on a Wednesday and just didn't tell anybody. People trickled in.
really?
We're like, all right, that was
They like stumbled across it.
Yeah, pretty calm. We, got through the day and then we're like, all right, we'll do kind of the same thing tomorrow. And we come in the next day and it's just packed the whole day.
You're right. Word gets
Like,
out.
We by the end of the day, we ran out of thawed frozen yogurt for like 6 out of our 8 machine
That's
slots.
amazing.
Dang.
Yeah.
Can we thaw this stuff faster, like
Right.
for tomorrow? And then I'd like buy another refrigerator online that day because like we didn't really know it'd be that busy at first.
Mm-hmm.
And still one of our busiest days, but like word gets around.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like we didn't even bother doing a grand opening ever because it's like people found out.
Self-serving
day one.
frozen yogurt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And this town didn't have, there was, you have competition when it first opened. There was a store that did, but they didn't last, called like Otters over by Albertsons.
No, they closed before ours.
That's what
Okay.
it was. Okay, yeah, they closed before you
I
opened.
forgot
yeah.
about that.
They had their sign up forever though, so people thought we were in competition, but they closed and just left the sign up for 2 years. Yeah, it was Cold Stone,
Oh, that's right.
and it was in the same location, and then Otters was there.
That's right.
But we figured we could be efficient in terms of having it attached to the game store and having employees be able to, in their idle time, go to like put away discs and stuff, and maybe get enough efficiency to make it actually profitable. I think it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
think so.
And we're also making use of that square footage that wasn't being used. So
Right. So do you love frozen yogurt? I mean, do you just
Oh yeah, everybody's got their certain flavors they like. They're like, I like this one and this one, and the rest are garbage.
yeah.
They're pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I like basically every flavor except like one. Like, there's one flavor I didn't like,
How
like
funny.
the sugar-free chocolate. Just
Uh-huh.
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
do it
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
So I try to
Yeah.
never carry it.
And the color changing spoons. That's
Yeah,
a great
those-
touch.
That was huge.
Yeah, that sort of came with the frozen yogurt machine like package.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'll keep running these. These are great. Yeah,
So-
kids love them.
Yep.
Favorite flavor from over the years?
I think any of the gelatos, like the hazelnut gelato.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I like the kind of fattier yogurts.
I hear you.
So
Yeah.
we have non-fats too, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Who
some
wants
flavor.
the non-fat? How often do you rotate like the flavors?
Once a month. Recently, we were doing it a bunch because, supply chains are so wild now. It's like, all right, what do you got? All right, that's all you have. All right, give it to me. It's
All
like,
right.
all right, Mountain Blackberry. We're trying this for the first time. Then it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had an upset customer because he changed the flavor? They're like,
Yeah, all the time.
Oh my
You
gosh.
take out yellow cake batter for a week.
That is
and
a good
everybody
one.
loses their
That's a good one.
yeah.
Such a good one. Now, I know in your busier days, don't you have some guy full time just prepping toppings? And I know the cutting
Yeah, and
strawberries is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, in the
I-
summertime, we usually have a counter person and a kitchen person all day.
Wild.
But
You still do the coloring contests?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still a big hit.
Yeah.
I love that it's all ages too. I love when it gets
Oh, yeah.
posted online. There's something like the 34 bracket, and then there's 4-year-olds are my favorite. I always comment on those.
If you could tell your younger self about starting a business, what kind of advice would you tell your younger self about getting into this,
I'm always
owning a business?
conflicted as far as when other people ask me too, do you go all in or do you try to be cautious or whatever and talk yourself out of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like some days I want to just be gung ho and just try it. And if it doesn't work out, whatever, do a food truck or something to where if it doesn't work out, you can sell the food truck or whatever,
Right.
where it's easy exit plan. So
I don't think we have a chicken wing food truck in town.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chicken wing and frozen yogurts.
I'm going to do a chicken and waffles.
There you go.
Or better yet, get somebody else to do it. But I think the important thing to get started when you're getting started is to ask a lot of questions to people that have been in business. Not just one person, because everybody's got their own way they like to run businesses.
Yeah.
It's good to get a lot of other input.
Mm-hmm.
Some people be deathly afraid of getting into debt. And then I'll come along and be like, no, inflation's super high, interest rates are super low, borrow all the money you possibly can.
So was your dad that kind of person when you started off?
Yeah, for sure. We'd always talk finance and stuff and business, and he'd always have good ideas. I'd go to him whenever a big decision would come up and
Sure.
I'd need advice on it.
Sure.
Or oh man, one night I was working late repricing and I flooded the bathroom. You know when the toilet flap doesn't like go down or whatever?
Yeah.
And then the water just on, and then you're up there for like 2 more hours, and then you look up and like half the store is full of water.
Oh my gosh.
That's when you call your dad and like, how do I get rid of this water? He's like, well, they make something called a wet dry vac.
Right.
Whoa.
So we found somebody that had it in the middle of the night, and
Wow.
yeah, good dad advice. Because otherwise I'd not know what to do. The flooded
Right.
store in the middle of the night.
All right. So have you had like a lot of moments of, throughout the years, like, what am I doing owning this business? Or have you kind of gotten past that? You're like now kind of on
Couple
cruise
of weird
control.
things. It's like flooded like half a dozen times.
Uh-huh.
Like remember Snowpocalypse?
Yeah, Snowpocalypse.
All right.
Like our drainage from the back of the building clogged up and flooded the store like an inch of water. People were standing in it trying to get frozen yogurt. We're like, we shut everything down.
frozen
This is
yogurt.
kind of, this is not.
I always like the snow beginner. It's like,
Yeah.
heavy snow. And people are like, I need my frozen.
Right. I need my fix.
Yeah.
I got to imagine you've had.
I remember you guys
Yeah.
did the Shaq Fu
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Remember
Shaq Fu for the shorties.
Shaq Fu for the shorties. And
Yeah.
they did a 24-hour.
That was another one of those things that like me and Chris would like brainstorm these ideas, and I had no idea. Like
So what was that?
we'd both claim it was our idea.
They did it was for some charity.
Yeah, it was for Child's Play.
Child's
it's the same
Play,
one that Penny Arcade, I think, promotes.
And they
where-
did a live broadcast of employees of VGP would take turns playing Shaq Fu.
Yeah, we streamed it on.
Yeah.
I think it was either Twitch or Justin TV, whatever it was.
It was
in
Twitch, yeah.
2012
Yeah.
or something. And I played it for 24 hours straight. It was a 48-hour like event, but I just
Yeah.
did 24 hours. Is not something I'd even do again. That's why I never did another one because I'd feel obligated to do 24 hours or more. I just don't want to.
It was like a charity event, just like to raise money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raised 2,000.
Oh, nice.
I got a little plaque with the game because you had so many Shaq Fus that you
Yeah.
guys took the game,
Oh,
the
yeah.
cartridge, and put my little plaques.
Yeah, I made little plaques.
Yeah. No, but one of my favorite
was a good
memories was you guys did an air competition. It was I forget which game came out. It was I want to say it was like Mortal Kombat or something. But it was you guys did a contest. One of the top finishers was a kid. He was a younger kid, someone's little brother. He played with the remote upside down.
Yeah, it was Call of Duty. I
Yes!
think it was.
He played with Upside Down?
Because that's his
Yeah.
brothers they would give him a hard time. So when he was growing up, his brothers told him, no, you have to play with the remote upside down if you want to play with us.
What?
So he learned the buttons upside down and was good.
Yeah, he beat everybody.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, your brain will map to whatever kind of controller. You know,
What?
Yeah.
some people play with the up and down inverted.
Yeah.
That was common until about 2000, and then Halo, the default was you press up to look up, and
Yeah.
then everybody kind of converted over to that.
Oh
There's
my.
a few like older people and my wife, not that my wife is old. Edit that part out.
Stay
That
in.
still play with it inverted, and they got to like change it every time. Like,
Yeah.
or if you hand the controller off to her
Yeah.
or me, it's like, oh, I got to try to play with it the opposite way now.
But Upside Down?
But upside down and backwards,
Yeah.
and the buttons are on the
Yeah,
other
like
side.
How long did that
There's
take?
no going back to like.
Yeah, you can't.
Learn
You
the
can't
regular
rewire that.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did good.
And that was on the Xbox?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was on 360. It must have been like Modern Warfare 3 or maybe Black Ops 2 or one of those tournaments
Yeah.
that we had.
I wonder if he has like a new console, like the Xbox Series X or something like that, and he has to do the same thing, rewire his brain to use his new controllers and play. That's crazy.
I love it.
Just a story about how since you kind of,
Yeah. How'd you meet your wife?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Not a drinker. Like to get that out there. But I was passed out on a couch at Rumors, basically. And she just came over and sat next to me, and I challenged her to a thumb war. And then that's how we first met. And then we got each other's number. And yeah, but
I love it.
But we met out of
Romance was in the air on
Yeah.
a passed out couch in a bar.
Like, I better let her win. This is going good.
Did she win or who won?
She always wins. I don't know how
She's a good thumb wrestler.
She's got these like thumb muscles or something. She tries pretty hard, and
Yeah.
she beats me like 80% of the time. We try to thumb war.
Yeah.
love
So
it.
does she play video games too? Is she a video gamer?
She plays about as much as me, or a little less.
Yeah.
It kind of depends. Yeah, I think she liked the BioShock series.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, it's a
more
good
than
series.
anything.
I heard they're making a
Loves those games.
movie
Yeah.
Really?
or series or something like that. I can't remember if it's a series or a movie.
Yeah, that was
I
like
heard they're doing a Bioshock. Yeah. So do you ever get tired of talking about video games or like looking at video games, or you're just like, oh, I'm so tired of video games?
No, not really.
No.
It's kind of part of your life, I guess.
Right. So what's kind of like the biggest, is online and streaming kind of like the biggest threat towards, the in-game?
Man, the industry's just kind of like exploded in all these different directions at once. It started in like '06 or so. I think Horse Armor was the first like DLC. Is that like Morrowind or something?
Yeah.
I forget what game that was.
Elder Scrolls, yeah.
But yeah, we just kept seeing all the DLC creep into all these games and being like, well, we can't make money selling DLC because the companies are just taking it directly. But like the industry's expanding into those other ways. The physical sales of games have been like pretty steady. Like I'm surprised myself that it kind of keeps going. And they're even making like
the Switch is still pretty big too, right? Yeah.
Switch is huge. That's still on cartridges too. There's a company called Limited Run Games that'll make they'll take like an indie game and make fancy boxes and like artwork and stuff that they put in there, and they'll bundle it with all different things and release them in like quantities of 1,000 or less or something sometimes. That's another kind of new thing in the industry. Some people download games or go to Steam or a lot of people just do a little bit of everything. Like all my employees, like they play some PC games, some console games.
How many employees have you had over the years?
I looked this up because you sent me this question. 84.
Yeah. Wow.
84.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's actually good. That's really good for over 20 something years,
22
right?
years,
22
yeah.
years. 80. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's 3 stores. I don't know how many like years of, because like they didn't all start at the same time. So I don't know if that's high turnover or low turnover or what.
I think it's pretty good.
We have a lot of people that work there for like 5 years or work there for a while and go somewhere else and come back.
I did my stint. I worked probably off and on for 2 years, 3 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You trained everybody up on salesman techniques.
Sales is my favorite.
Upsells.
No. I had 2 favorite memories from working there. One was after we expanded and opened, and it was like, I could have sworn it was like 8 months later, but a guy walked in with a paint can. He walked all the way in through VGP, put the paint can on the counter, and then he looks down and and then he starts looking around the whole building.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys don't do paint anymore. I was like, nope. And he left. And then it was when the other one was when you had to destroy stuff that was, if you guys received something that was like damage or something like that, you had to destroy it to throw it away because you don't want someone to dig it out of the dumpster and try and sell it back to the store. Mm-hmm. I guess the early Nintendo DSs had a special battery. The batteries were like lithium batteries, but they were very dangerous. And whoever was in the back was taking an axe trying to break it.
Oh, great. And
contacted right with the battery, and that thing started smoking.
Oh, no.
And I'll never forget the door opening wide, and think there was no customer in the store, but he just ran through the whole store, this thing smoking. It looked like he had a bomb that was about to go off, all the way to the dumpster, and we put a hose on it. But
I hear all these stories like years later.
You're right.
And I'm like,
don't tell Kyle.
Why did nobody tell me?
Nobody tell Kyle. Shall we transition to what you got, sir?
Yeah, quiz game.
Since
we'll save our 2 questions.
Picked your brain long enough with video games and businesses.
Oh wow!
We're actually writing stuff down. Oh,
yeah.
geez.
So you don't like.
I'm so excited.
Have to shout them out or anything.
Okay.
Maybe.
All
right.
Okay.
I've seen this being done on podcasts where they always have to write it down.
I like it.
Cheat.
Interactive.
All right.
I think I got like 8 questions. And
All right.
Something like that.
Better than dad jokes. Usually we end on dad jokes. And
we still got our 2 questions about sandwiches.
Perfect.
All right. So this is data from like basically when we opened through like last week. What is the game we've sold the most used copies of?
Oh, man.
That's right, because you sell used video games and used Blu-rays and DVDs.
Right.
So
it's a game.
It's a game you sold the most copies of. So this means it's come into the store maybe several times, right?
Oh, yeah.
Could be the same copy. Okay, game you sold the most of.
Most copies
Okay, hold on. Is this new or used?
Used.
Okay,
just used.
Most used copy video games.
Yep.
Do we get a hint of the system?
Sure. PS2.
Oh, it's got to be. Okay.
Mark has a little bit of an advantage because he's
right.
This is gonna be embarrassing if I get this. I'm putting one down, and I'm going wide.
And it's 1 point if you get it right, and then if you get in the top 5, you get half a point.
All right.
All right. What do you guys got?
I guess Splinter Cell.
I went GTA 2.
How off are we?
This is awkward. GTA 3 is on there because GTA 2 is for PlayStation 1.
Oh,
that was top 10.
I was trying to remember
I'll give you half a
which GTA it was.
So it was a GTA? That's awesome.
And there's first one's Gran Turismo 3 on PS2, 949 copies.
Wow.
Grand Theft Auto 3 on PS2 with like 903.
I forgot.
Man, that is a lot of copies.
Grand Theft Auto 4 on 360.
Okay.
Then Grand Theft Auto Vice City on PS2.
Wow.
And then Assassin's Creed at
Ooh,
777.
my favorite. I love Assassin's Creed too.
Big Assassin's
my mind
Creed
went
fan.
blank when we talked about favorite video games, but I love Assassin's Creed too.
God, my Splinter Cell is nowhere on there. I'm embarrassed.
All right, so we're at 0-0
Yeah.
so far.
I'll go with it.
All right, how about most sold new?
Most sold new. Oh, okay. I got an idea.
New? Oh man.
This one's even harder.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. What I think. What I've seen some. I've never played this game, but I've heard it's really, really good. So I'm gonna go.
Oh, I know which one it is. Okay, I'm ready. Ready? All right, you
Ready?
go first this time.
Breath of the Wild.
I went Minecraft.
You got it.
Minecraft. Oh, that's a good guess.
And the only reason it was a hot.
That's a good guess.
hot
That's a
Christmas
good
game.
guess. That's a good
Yeah.
guess. That's a good guess.
We're always surprised. We just have to keep ordering them new, and
Really, people
Yeah.
still buy Minecraft?
yeah, we sold.
It's a great kids game.
So we've
It's a
sold
gr-
547 copies of Minecraft new.
Wow.
The second one we sold the most of is Skyrim.
Okay.
222 copies. So it's like
Whoa,
2.5 times
not
as many.
That's a
even
That's not even
close.
close.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right, next one. This is a funny stat. What is the most used Nintendo 64 consoles we've had in stock at one time?
Used? Oh, jeez, man.
But you go first.
You got yours?
Oh, yeah.
25?
I said 12.
Ooh, 81.
80. Wow, we
All right,
were
you're
lowballing.
Yeah, you're closer. Yeah.
I wasn't even.
I went
barely.
Because now you're probably
81.
can't get any. Yeah.
Was it just like all in the back? Just like everyone just.
Yeah, it's just games and consoles, they go through these cycles where, you know, that console's been out for like 7 years at that point. People
Yeah.
are moving on to other stuff, GameCube or whatever.
I remember the
And,
Pokemon games were really popular too, weren't they?
And this is before we had any kind of cap system.
Okay.
So we'd bought everything. That's why I had to start the other store. The next day, I was looking through the records. We sold 8 on the next day to Video World and Grants Pass. Just trying to get rid of some of them. All right, so it's tied up 1-1.
Have you ever had a celebrity come into VGP?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Metal Jesus Rocks. You guys ever watch his YouTube channel? He's a gamer kind of YouTuber.
No, it sounds familiar, but.
Someone know he is.
Yeah.
He was in there, and I wasn't there at the time, and I wish I would have got informed or something. Would have came over and met him, but
Would he buy
I
or?
saw a video of him online because I watched his show. And it's
Yeah.
like, that's my store. He was like browsing my PS2 games. I
That's
didn't know he was in
awesome. Dave Layton. You never know where he's going to do.
Dave, yeah.
He's an odd duck, yeah. He's going to listen to this podcast right now. He goes, he mentioned me. Yeah.
All right, next one. I might have we'll see if I gave this away or see how good your memory is. The most expensive game we've sold. Dollar amount.
It's got to be a limited edition of something.
Yeah,
right?
it's is it the Earthbound with the case, right?
Earthbound with the cake.
Yeah.
But how much?
1,500. Yeah.
I'm just going to give you each a point 'cause I already said
There you
it.
go. Yeah. Too funny. You sold that in the store? Straight out?
Yeah.
Somebody bought that?
I think they were in like Medford and they were trying to like shop it around. We made an offer from pictures on his phone or something.
Wild.
I wonder if they play it, or if it's just like keeping it as a collector's to try to sell it again.
Probably a little of both.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to like buy the
It
game
and not play.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
But $1,500, man.
If it's unopened, you can play it. But if it's sealed, I think you keep it sealed.
Right.
Here's the question: if it's still got the scratch and sniff,
Do you scratch and
Scratch and
sniff
sniff.
it?
You sell that separate. You
couldn't
Google what it
help
smells
myself.
like and you sell it.
I think you at least video yourself like reacting.
Yeah. Scratch half of it.
Right.
Half you scratch and sip.
Right.
Okay, here's one. Do you guys remember BMX Triple X?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. PlayStation 2. I bought 20 copies of it when it came out.
Okay.
How many did we sell in the first week?
You bought
Now
20.
remember,
Okay.
it came out on all 3 consoles.
Yes.
PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube.
Yep.
PlayStation 2, I think, was the only censored version
Oh, okay.
at the black bars.
Yeah. How many copies did you sell in the first week? I'll write down my answer.
Oh, man. This is hard questions.
It's a good question. I like this one.
I don't know. I'll say 80.
I'm going to say 0.
It's 0. It took
Did
2
you know
weeks.
that one? You cheating.
No, I remember. Okay, I do remember. I may have remembered a conversation about this being. And I think it was because at the time you guys were still getting your name out there for selling new video games.
Yeah.
And that's why. And then afterwards it took off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was we had
That
to
was a
mark it
historic
down from 50 to 30
Yeah.
because we didn't sell any and to start trying to move them. They eventually all sold, but lost a bunch of money.
Don't give me a point.
Was
I knew that one.
Was that Dave Mira?
It was originally a Dave Mirra game,
Uh-huh.
but when they started to like, they noticed it wasn't like popping off as far as like quality.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, all right, we're going to add some strippers and some stuff to it. Dave Mirra was like, no, take my name off it if that's going to be the case.
How wild.
He like threatened to sue and stuff. And he took his name off it. But yeah, it was actually a Dave Mirra game.
Yeah, because I remember he was making games.
Yeah, that one, Dave Mirra, like freestyle BMX.
Yes, so good.
That was really good. And then Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, Matt Hoffman. Yeah, everyone's trying to get in the Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing a handicap for you at some point.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
5.
Point.
I think I kept it mostly away from like stuff you'd have for technology.
Yeah.
Okay, here's I don't know how to ask this question. So PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. I'm thinking of like the ratio between all of them. Like, think pie chart.
Sure.
Like how big is the ratio in like a percentage
for
PS4?
Of that pie chart?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yep.
I'm going to so PS4, Switch, and you said Xbox
And this
One?
is for our used game sales. So they pretty much had to be traded in by somebody and then resold.
What do you think?
This is funny because Douglas County is very weird and unique with this stuff. Like it's funny you said
different than other towns.
It's very different than other towns. And like I know, like I looked this up once in Japan. Like Japan, there's no Microsoft. They don't do it. It's like such a niche thing.
All right.
And they're all Sony or all Nintendo, right? So I think here you're going to have a high Sony. So I'm going PS4 and I'm going with 55%.
I went 60%.
For PS4?
Yeah.
Wow, Mark got it exactly right somehow.
Whoa.
55.
I'm starting to feel like you got a little in on these numbers, buddy.
This is too funny. But now I want to know the Xbox
60
One.
opposed to Xbox One
25?
37.5.
Okay.
And then Nintendo Switch is about
7.5.
People love the Switch, though, right? Every time I hear somebody that plays the Switch, they love it.
Get them.
Yes, but like they just don't get traded in as much.
Right now, the Sony execs listening in. Guys,
Right.
you gotta listen to this podcast.
Right.
They crunched the numbers for us. Yeah.
Okay, this one is most Wii games sold in 1 year.
Oh,
Which year?
How many games?
Oh, which year?
And is it new and used?
Just which year?
Which year?
What was peak
Okay.
Wii?
Okay, I
Okay,
think I remember
I got my
this.
answer. Oh,
I think I remember this.
We came
pretty
out
sure.
in 2007, I think. By the way.
Right, but it took a while
I'll be honest, that was gonna be my
Case
guess.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've already lost this one, but yeah.
It took a while for that to market, though, because then the Wii was like...
Yeah, the Wii had a couple good years.
Right, but it took a while for them to kind of come out and
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Hey, this is a good new system."
the
they had that. They had that good
time.
commercial where like the guys were like knocking on the door.
Yeah.
All right, I said 2010.
I said 2007.
2011.
Good job, El.
So close.
That's too funny.
Are you guys all right? Scores.
Mark's beat me like
Ours is
6-1.
No, it's 3.5 to 3.
Yeah,
Mark's ahead.
by half. All right, what else?
What
This
do we
is
got?
fun. Good stats.
Okay, so we're thinking. This one I think is interesting.
I love the pie chart one.
Yeah, I bet you do.
It was Pie Day yesterday.
It was Pi Day yesterday.
Okay, so there's 2 years I'm looking at: 2002 and 2021. I want to know the percentage of transactions where a credit card was used.
In 2002 and
2002
2021?
and 2021. So it's
Percentage.
kind of
Okay.
So 2 percentages.
2 different percentages.
Boy. Oh man. All right. You know what?
God, I go too
It's tough. All right.
I went whole numbers. I didn't go weird. I went
I
weird.
just went whole
This is for 2 points.
All right, you go first.
45% and 70%.
And I went 50% and 80%.
Wow, that was really close to each other.
That was.
Let's see. 2002 was 8.5%.
Whoa!
So you were closest on that. What did you say for the second one?
I said 80.
70.
You said 80?
Yeah.
It's 48.
Why do I imagine everyone?
Is there more cash in Roseburg than I
There
thought there
must-
was?
Yeah, a lot
So-
of cash.
I would imagine back then, like credit cards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Back
Maybe
then-
during the
That's amazing.
We started, cash was 85%,
Wow.
and then now it's 52%. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. That was a very interesting one. Very eye-opening.
Yeah. I think, I think that's the last one.
Oh, I
Did you
love-
pull ahead? 1, 2.
I think you got me on the last one. Look at that. 7.
Yeah, 5 to 3.5.
I
Good
love
job.
it. Good job.
That was stressful.
Should I do the tiebreaker?
Yes.
Just because it's on
Yes.
Do it.
here? Either you guys know the Contra code?
Up, down,
AKA
down.
the Konami code.
Yeah.
No.
It's all the buttons. It's up, up, down, down, A, B, B.
I don't know.
Yeah, left. I don't know. That's my guess.
Up, down, left, right, BA.
There you go.
That was close.
Then either press start or select start
No.
to get it going.
That was fun.
One free frozen yogurt.
Wow. I will use that in my good time.
It says 12 ounces on these max, but if you go a little more, they
Thank you,
let
sir.
it slide. You can
They let
see
it
how
slide.
far you can push it.
Kyle gave this to me personally. He
Yeah,
said I
that's
can...
awesome. You got free that.
right.
It was from the podcast. It
right.
never gets claimed.
Right.
Oh, I love how at the VGP it's self-serve yogurt, but there's still a tip jar.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite. People are like, hey, man, I literally love this place. I'm like,
Well, you
okay.
got to pay for it.
Yeah, they got to pay for it, and they still tip you. They're like, yeah, all right, I'll hit the inner key.
I will say I always get stressed out when they put it on the weight scale.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh no, how much is this going to be? Because there's 4 of us, we're all getting frozen yogurts and like, well, you guys either want to go to college or you guys want frozen yogurt, so you guys can pick one.
Yeah.
I
love when an adult goes ham. They go crazy and get a bunch of
Right.
stuff. And they get to the register. It's like $26.
Right.
It's like, yep.
There's different toppings with like wildly different densities,
Right.
rates, and like profit margins. So I can see a kid going through, like, yeah, gummy worms.
Yes,
chocolate sauce. Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
And I know you guys clean that place like crazy every night because
Yeah.
that's one of the things I did for a while. There was
Yeah.
every one of those machines, and there's charts up there like how you clean it, how you lay them on the tray.
Interesting thing about our setup like that, like all the checklists and stuff to make sure everything gets done, is I went to like maybe 10 frozen yogurt shops to try to like pick the brain of any owner that would talk to me when I was thinking of starting it up. And one lady let me, go into her back room and look at
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
She Yogurt Extreme near campus in Eugene.
Okay.
Her name's Karen, and she let me
Finally,
ask her
a
a
nice
bunch of
Karen.
questions. So I brought her some gift certificates after.
Well,
That's
that's cool.
awesome.
Like, it saved us so much like heartache, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Just knowing how an actual store operates. Because we would have had to make up everything ourselves.
You guys are still methodical, and it's still like a nerdy methodical that I know when the health inspector comes by, she's just
Yeah.
like, whatever. You guys have a A+ every time, something like that.
Yeah, we've got nothing but hundreds for,
That's awesome.
what is it, 7, 8 years?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now I want some frozen yogurt.
See, it's clean. Yeah.
Oh, either way.
I think we're down to our two questions, right?
I think we're down to our last
Sandwich
question.
Yes. So, Kyle, what's your favorite sandwich?
What's your favorite sandwich, Kyle?
I'm thinking French dip.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh.
sneaky good sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little au
Kinda-
jus sauce.
Kinda basic. but you can
No, that's
dip
not
it.
basic. That's
You get
delicious.
a good one in Roseburg, though.
Man, I used to get them at Karen's all the time.
Okay.
I told you, yeah, Karen's closed.
Karen's was good.
But like whenever I have a chance, I think McMiniman's has one
Uh-huh.
right now. Man, who else even has them?
Black and Blue, I believe, has one.
Oh, good call out.
I saw Dragon Force the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, they're so good.
They're still playing?
Yeah.
They're up in Portland?
Yeah.
Best concert I ever went to was the Dragon Force concert.
Really?
I love Dragon. I saw them at Wow Hall in Eugene, like,
Oh, yeah.
gosh, years, but just got 20 years ago. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a Celine Dion cover. You know that one from Titanic?
Oh,
They
man.
did
My
like a
heart will
metal
go
version
on.
of it. Yeah. It's great.
That's amazing.
Is it a metal band?
Yeah.
There are,
Kind of
but
a gamer kind of based kind of music. a lot.
their song was the finishing song of the first Guitar Hero, wasn't it? It was like,
Yeah.
you had to learn.
Through the Fire and the
Yeah.
Fire.
Oh,
Through the
really?
Fire. Yeah, because of how complicated it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
favorite sandwich. I like an Italian sandwich. It's just always been my go-to. It's just delicious.
I probably get like that more than the French dip, but
Yeah,
I think I still go French dip.
French dip's good too. There's something with the bread dipping in. You get a little soft with that. You get the little provolone, and oh my gosh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Then you get the fries left over, and you dip the fries in the au jus sauce.
Makes perfect sense.
I'm hungry. Mark?
I'm going to go classic, easy peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, come on. Mark.
I know. It's kind of lame.
I'm disappointed.
Look, here's the deal.
We're both
The
disappointed.
reason why, I tell you, is a childhood favorite, and then I lost track of it for years. I recently rediscovered it because technology with jelly has come so far, so many more flavors.
Technology.
So I'm not saying a classic one flavor. I'm like a huckleberry. I got some
Yeah.
Marionberry jellies.
Yeah.
I want blackberry. I want something different. Yeah, I'm going
All right.
PB&J.
Okay.
That's my argument.
You ever fluff or nutter?
Oh, I fluff and nutter. You
right.
better believe I
All
fluff and nutter. That's staying in. Yes.
Kyle, I think, sir, we have taken up so much of your time today, and we truly, truly thank you
Yeah.
for being on with us. And
having
then
me.
thank you, I said this earlier, but thanks for keeping the podcast lights on for us. We really appreciate your support. We're glad you could come to Mark's or
Our studio.
Our fake studio.
Fancy studio.
That you see where we do podcast magic around here.
Yeah.
The dogs get so quiet when you start doing the pod. I don't know how that works.
The other one ran off, I think.
Yeah.
Jar Jar has been our mascot since like day one.
He's been in a couple
Jar
of
Jar's
the
been-
recordings. You'll hear him ground in the background sometimes.
He takes his toy up here and
Yeah.
that's it. Mark, any parting thoughts, words?
No, this was awesome. I've known Kyle for a while now. Cool guy. And the shop's always been fun. Great employees there. All kinds of cool people. And so, yeah, no, this was a fun one. I'm really happy you did it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so
And I think
much.
it's going to be a fun one to listen to.
Yes, and you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google, Alexa,
YouTube.
YouTube. We have a Facebook page, Oregon Files Podcast. If you want to get a hold of the show, it's Oregon Files at yahoo.com.
Oregon Files Podcast.
Excuse me, Oregon Files Podcast, yahoo.com. Check us out on Podcast Addict, Stitcher, any place you get podcasts. Tell a friend, neighbor. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Cheers.